Welcome you guys to another episode of the Gafford and Brown Show. I'm Lamar Gafford.
I'm Robert Brown.
And in tonight's show, we're going to talk about what happened in the NFL games last week, also some coaching changes, and some other stuff that's going on in the sports world today. But once again, NFL playoffs, the divisional playoffs are down. 4 good games, and now we got our final 4 in the NFL right now.
Yes. Now, first things first. First game, we got to see the San Francisco 49ers and the Carolina Panthers
Mm-hmm.
battle of the young black QBs. Now, who do you think has the most upside after this week? Do you think it's going to be Cam or it's going to be Cap? Because now Cam is in the underdog role. I mean, he got people coming for him, people saying, he can't win a big game. Just all types of, I think, unnecessary, criticism. You have Kaepernick, who's everybody's favorite right now. And at the same time, he's got a target on his back. A lot of people are waiting for him to fail.
Well, I think probably if you by upside, I'll probably go ahead and say maybe it's close. Based on probably Kaepernick, I guess. But Cam is not that far behind. We kind of expected it from him. As you had said, though, kind of the criticism is a little bit unwarranted because I mean, come on, it's his first postseason game. And you have people like Peter King of SI who keeps on talking about him and keeps on bashing him and stuff. But, I got a feeling that Cam Newton is going to be a very good quarterback in the league. I mean, in these days. Right now, he's proving it right this season. He had a very good season. I mean, of course, when you're in that position for the first time in your career, there's going to be some nerves. There's going to be some nerves.
Right.
This is it.
Yeah, it always going to happen. And, I think Cam Newton me and my friend think this, he has the potential and he has the tools to be one of the greatest quarterbacks ever. I mean, he's 6'5". He's, 230 pounds?
230, 240,
Yeah.
250 something?
Guys, fast. I mean, fast. He can run. He has the arm. I mean, that rookie year he had was for the record books.
Mm-hmm.
So, you look at his tools, the guy has so much potential. And look at what he did with this team. This is a team that more so catered to his style of play, but also they depend on him to at least put up 400 yards to try to win. And he doesn't have that big-time receiver neither. He has Steve Smith, who's a reliable veteran. Yet, at the same time, Steve Smith is what, in his mid-late 30s?
Yeah.
He has Brandon LaFell. He has two solid running backs, but Cam Newton runs this show. So we got that. And another thing about that game was San Francisco had too much firepower.
Mm-hmm.
Granted, Cap didn't have the greatest game of his career, but he did enough big plays to put them away.
Right. And especially one of the things that really surprised me on this one was stealing the whole move, which we'll probably get to that a little bit later as well. But Kaepernick basically showed of a player that had been there before. And of course, he had a Super Bowl run last year. Looks like he's about to be poised to make another one this year. So, I guess that's basically the come right there. Now for the Panthers, like I said, good season for Cam Newton. Now it's just going to be how do they improve upon that for next year, and I feel like that they're going to have to get a little bit better, and especially give him maybe another target, maybe another weapon out there, wide receiver, just to help him out, and just also to help out Steve Smith, who's still reliable, but like you said, he's getting older.
Yeah, he's getting older, and he's not going to be playing forever.
Mm-hmm.
We saw that just not too long ago. He got he suffered an injury and missed a couple of games. They need to invest in a wide receiver, somebody younger, somebody. And I also forgot Ted Ginn Jr., who definitely stepped up.
Yeah,
definitely stepped up. Now, before we get to the picks of that game, I want to ask you, how real is this San Francisco-Seattle rivalry? And when's the last time we had two division rivals in a title game?
Oh man, this is a real rivalry, and I think the last time we had these two division rivals, from what I can remember, probably going back to 2008 with the Steelers and the Ravens, and of course that one was intense as well.
Right.
I think that's the one I can remember right off the top of my head. But anyway, yeah, this is an intense rivalry. I mean, you got the play. They both were in an arms race during the off season. Both coaches hate each other. It seems like that there's angst between each other. Both teams are kind of, in a way, built. Yeah, would you say similar towards each other? I mean, defensively, strong commitment to the run, and also quarterbacks that are mobile enough that don't make that many mistakes.
Yeah, the zone read. Yeah, definitely. They definitely rely on. They both rely on the zone read. I will take Kaepernick over Russell Wilson, but yeah, I definitely agree with you. That they are built. They are mirror images of one another. I guess that's why the rivalry is so deep. Not only are they in the same division, but they follow the same blueprint of the way each team is structured.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I definitely agree with you there.
And that's gonna be one of those games I can't wait to see. And funny to also bring up the Seattle game because I also want to talk about the Seattle New Orleans game as well. And what you think about that one?
Oh man, Seattle and New Orleans. I almost forgot about this one. Seattle, the Saints can't. Drew Brees has the same way Peyton Manning has the whole stigma of not being able to beat New England.
Mm-hmm.
Now Drew Brees has the stigma of not being able to win Seattle.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, he can't beat them. It seems when it comes to big time situations, Drew Brees kind of shrinks. I mean, granted, he's one of the main reasons why that the Saints are the Saints, but I mean, you look at that game, he had some key mistakes, some key errors that kept him from winning that game.
Right.
I don't know. Some of the play calling was questionable, but Seattle has New Orleans' number. They can't stop Marshawn Lynch. He seems to be, whenever he plays New Orleans, he seems to take it to another level.
Beast mode.
Yeah. And also, that game, what's funny about that game, Russell Wilson didn't have his best game neither.
Mm-hmm.
But, yeah, you got to give your hat to Seattle, man. That 12th man, just the team itself, the defense, they are ready. And New Orleans, I mean, they had a good season. I know a lot of New Orleans fans that are kind of mad right now. I guess they feel entitled since their Super Bowl win. So a lot of them are, case, but it's not necessarily the case. New Orleans has a lot of questions going through this offseason. How do you fix that offensive line?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, because Drew Brees ate a lot of dirt these two postseason games.
Mm-hmm.
What are you going to do on defense? You're not the horrible defense from last year, but at the same time, there are things you can improve upon.
Right.
Roman Harper's probably not coming back, so you got to replace him. You got to get better, some more, some cornerbacks. It's a lot of questions.
And I guess I could add another question to that mix because I was reading something about this yesterday, or earlier today. Basically trying to get a long-term contract for Jimmy Graham.
Yeah, that's
because you're gonna know he's gonna want his money.
He's gonna want his money, and then that's another thing. You just gave Drew Brees this huge deal, so what are you gonna do as far as restructuring contracts and re-signing guys that are valuable? Jimmy Graham is huge for New Orleans.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, he's Drew's number one target.
Yes.
So, what are you going to do? How much are you going to pay him? And you got to make him your franchise guy.
Right.
I've also heard somebody say that the Saints, this isn't necessarily a fact, but the Saints are thinking about drafting Aaron Murray possibly in the second round if he were to fall.
You think they should?
For the future, yes. I think you need a guy to start grooming.
Okay.
Because Drew Brees is 34, 33?
Yeah, he's getting up there.
He's getting up there. He has this big contract. We don't know if he's necessarily going to fulfill it.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's time to start grooming an heir. I mean, I also thought that maybe they should take a chance on Jay Locker. Because I don't think he's going back to Tennessee.
Right.
I mean, he's a guy that has a huge upside.
Mm-hmm.
just needs to stay healthy, you know, and what better place to learn and, you know, recuperate, you know, than New Orleans, but we'll see.
Right. I guess there's another thing here about that game that just kind of infuriated me, and I know everybody would have something to say about this. The decision by Marcus Colston late in that game. I just want to know what was he thinking?
You know, I still haven't seen the play. It's been described to me.
Mm-hmm.
But the thing about it was, I think it was the hero ball, the ultimate case of hero ball.
Mm-hmm.
God, team was down. He thought maybe he could pull a rabbit out the hat and some last minute magic, and no. But the Saints never should have been in that situation, honestly.
Nah, they shouldn't have.
They had potential, if you watch the game, to win that game, or at least, you know, keep it competitive. Like I say, Drew Brees. Because to be honest, I think the defense played well enough. I mean, granted, they gave up, you know, a lot of big yards to Marshawn Lynch, especially that last drive. But I think they did enough to keep New Orleans in the game from getting blown out.
Yeah.
You know, turnovers don't help anybody.
No, they don't. Missed field goals don't either.
Two missed field goals, right?
Right.
Yeah,
which could have really,
kicker.
Which could have, and I bet you Garrett Hartley right now is sitting on his couch
Smiling.
smiling right now, like, see, I told you, right there, karma. But yeah, that was a pretty good game too, and I guess going also to the AFC side right now, before we even get the chance to predict our matchups, Brady Manning the way it should be.
Hype. I gotta say, yesterday was pretty nerve-wracking for me in that fourth quarter. Cause I saw it coming. And it was so close to letting being slipped away, but pulled true and pulled it off. They closed the deal. Now they have New England coming home. I think this is time for Peyton Manning to put a stamp on his legacy.
Yes.
I mean, there's already talk of him, you know, people saying next year, you know, who knows if he comes back because, you know, the neck and all that stuff. But this is the time to put the stamp on his career. And I'm not going to say walk out into the sunset because I'm pretty sure he's going to play next year. Because next year is a big money deal if he can play. But now's the time to put the stamp on his career, his legacy, beat Brady, win another Super Bowl. It's got to happen that way for him. I mean, because if he loses to Brady, God, once again, the criticism is going to be through the roof.
And that would be 3-1 in AFC Championship games as well.
Right.
Basically.
Right.
So you gotta try to at least even it up a little bit. This is their 15th matchup against each other, and what's become a really good staple between two of the top quarterbacks in the NFL, which, you know, you could really say 1-2, 1A, 1B, you know, tie is something like that. But I believe this game is much more important on the legacy for Peyton in this case, because he's got to show right now that he can be able to beat Brady outdoors. And even though this game is going to be in his friendly confines, he's never beaten Brady outdoors. So that's one of the things right there. But you know, it could. I mean, I feel like this could be a very good one for this one. But also, there's some legacy on there for Brady's side too, because he makes it to the Super Bowl. He's the first person to make it to 6 Super Bowls in his career, and he has a chance to get that four titles, which we've only seen Bradshaw do it. And
you know, I thought he had 4. He had.
Let's see, 2001.
Yeah, they beat the Rams.
2003.
They beat
Panthers.
Yeah, he has 3.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm tripping.
Yeah.
I always forget that they didn't beat the Giants.
Yeah, the Giants.
Yeah, so yeah, you're right. 6 Super Bowl appearances, 3 rings, possibly 4 rings. Gosh. Now, I actually did this too. Me and my friend talked about it. Mm-hmm. Brady wins the Super Bowl with this team. All the adversity. You had one tight end in prison for murder, another tight end injured, replacement receivers, a running back that wasn't even on the team last year. Is he the greatest quarterback of all time?
Whoo! You can really make a good case for it. You can really do.